If it's not, I'm gonna be really, really sad. And probably pissed off. Hey, Chantal Bates! Okay, so, am I good? Am I good now? Alright. Thank God! Okay, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm sweating my ass off right now. It's like, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm gonna be like disgusting in like an hour. I have a fan pointed at my legs. Not that it's not like it's doing anything, but yeah. Normally I wear my hair down. It's clipped up because I am sweating like a bitch. They're like, ladies don't sweat, they glow. No, I fucking sweat. I know I sweat. It's okay. I'm human. I can be human too. Hey, Chantal Bates, how's it going? I bet it's hot over there where you are because it's, it's fucking Texas. Anyway, this is what's happening. I don't know. I feel like I should just get rid of that pink light at some point, just because I don't really feel like it's doing anything. Oh, hey. Oh, wait. Hold up. Pink light's working. Chantal Beat says, it's always hot over here. Is it? Yeah, it's Texas. What's the cold? Has it ever snowed there? Have you ever experienced like snow in Texas? I would like to know that. I feel like that's like one of those things. It's just like a miracle on Christmas. Like, you know how like, you know how in almost every series, there's always a Christmas episode, and there's always some like little kid, at least like a series with little kids in it. There's always like one who's like, oh, but I wish I could have snow on Christmas. And then you're like, oh my God, bitch, you live in fucking Florida. Are you kidding me? And so in the Christmas episode, miraculously, they wake up to a white Christmas. Ooh, yes. Because any like opportunity to like slip white Christmas in there is like, they're going to take it. They're going to take it and they're going to run with it. Chantal Beat says, it has actually snowed in my area once in my life. We get ice pretty frequently, but I've only seen snow here once. Okay. Yeah. All right. So only the one time. And maybe if this Christmas you want a Christmas miracle, you want it to be a white Christmas. And I'm not talking about cocaine. I'm just talking about snow. If you want it to be a white Christmas, maybe you should like pray to Santa or whatever. Who do you ask for that? Is it God or Santa? Because I feel like getting mixed messages here about God and Santa. I thought they were like the same because it's like, omniscient like older white men. I don't know. Oh gosh. Yeah. But for Sony says, I loved snow at Christmas right up to the point where I learned to drive a car. Then, nope. Yeah. I once, I was stupid. Because, like, right the day after it snowed, I was like, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ride my bicycle. Like, in where I live, in Bruges. Which is a stupid idea. Because Bruges is made of, like, history, blood, and cobblestones. All right? That's what we're made of. Have you ever tried to like ride a bicycle on melted, snowy, then refreeze back to icy cobblestones? That's a bad idea. And I didn't realize it was a bad idea until my bicycle slipped and I fell off in a really bad way. And these two women, I wouldn't have felt so awful. I mean, like, personally, like ego-wise, if no one had been watching. But there were two women who, like, saw me, like, just eat it. And when you eat it in Bruges, it's like cobblestones to the face. And it's like, ow, ow, ow. And I'm pretty sure I had a big bruise on my thigh. It was bad. It was bad. These two women looked over at me and they're like, and so it's just like, dude, that's not that it's like when you know, that just makes it worse. It's like now I'm just, not only am I like bruised and I've fallen off my bicycle and I think my bike's okay, but I don't know, and now I'm hurting and you're looking at me and I feel like an ass. Thanks. Thank you. It's like, yeah. Have you ever done that? Like, just fucking fell. Just ate it on the pavement or on the stones or whatever. Just ate it. And then there are people watching you. And then you're just like, oh my God, this made it like 10 times worse. Because if I fall and I have an accident and it's me and my clumsy fault, okay, it's fine. It's fine. But if like there are like it's multiplied by like the bystanders watching. So if there are people watching, it's like, oh my God. Oh, my embarrassment is like growing exponentially. Headfirst Only says, to be fair, you did grow up in California, which doesn't get weather at all. It's kind of true. Although I did grow up in California, yes. But I also, I grew up in kind of like a desert area. And the nights would sometimes get pretty cold. Early mornings would get pretty cold. But it's, you know, it's California. And like I never had to deal with snow. I never actually saw like I didn't experience a whole lot of snow until I moved to different places, and then I was like, wow, this happens every year for you guys? That's why you own snow tires and snow chains? I didn't know what that was. I still have never put a snow chain on my car or snow tires, things like that. That's for that was, yeah. I don't think I was there like long enough to do that. Also, yeah, 4-wheel drive is nice. If you if you live in an area where there's a lot of snow, ice, whatever the fuck, 4-wheel drive. Just you'll thank me later. You'll thank me later. Okay, so now that I've done pitching, how are you guys doing? Are you melting? Alright, okay. Headfirst Only says, was talking to my bro this afternoon, who is in San Carlos, California, about mountain biking, and he said, I keep going over the handlebars a lot at the moment. He's 58 today. Mad. Oh, wow, so he's actually, his birthday's today. By the way, Headfirst Only, who is my friend, and who is like chatting right now, and who also has a Twitch channel, he turned 60 yesterday. 60, like 60. And you know, like how you can like just sort of be in like denial, like it's like, you know, like when you're 29 and you're like, I'm still in my 20s, you know. And you just go, I'm still in my 20s, and you just hold on to it. You hold on to it until like the dreaded number turns and you've got a 0 at the end of your double digits and you're like, Jesus. First you go, where did the time go? 2, do I look my age? 3, am I old now? 4, am I going to make it to the next decade? And you do that. And you ask yourself these questions because you're like, as you, like, aging becomes real suddenly. I mean, you can kind of ignore it. And then, like, you know, halfway through whatever it is, like, once you get to the 55, Headfirst Only, and then it's like, uh-oh, we're counting down now. We're counting down. And suddenly you think, oh shit, well, I'm ready to dive headfirst into 60. So happy belated birthday, and also happy birthday to your brother. Headfirst Only says, Ruth sent me a great card that says, I'm not 60, I'm 50 plus value added text. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you see what I did there? Oh yeah, because I'm clever, like a fox. I don't know. I'm pretending to be clever. Nice one. Yeah, I'm stupid. All right. Okay. I'm chewing gum. I'm sorry. So, you might hear me go, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just because, it's so warm and I don't want to constantly drink water because I don't want to feel like I have to run to the toilet every 15 minutes. And also I I drink far too much water, probably. Like, far too much of it. TMI. Yeah, Headfirst only says TMI. I'm like, I don't care. Or are you talking about the smelly cat thing or the going to the toilet thing? Because I'm like a person who constantly drinks water, and it's probably a bad idea because I'm flushing a lot of like my salts out, and it's really bad. It's like I think I had an issue this morning because it was like I drank too much water, and like my body has a hard time adjusting because it's like, I'm trying to balance your salts. Which sounds like really stupid, but if you're, you know, like the older you get, the more you realize, yes, I should keep my my salts in balance. I should think about all that stuff. Headfirst only says, "Smelly cat, damn it, I'm going to have Phoebe's song in my head." Yeah, because you watched Friends, right? You know what? It's okay. I won't judge you because I watched Friends when I was like a teenager, and I was, you know, like stupid. And then I realized like how unrealistic Friends was because I was like, wait, where are the people of color? And also, you're in New York, and like, where are the people of color? Why is no one poor? I mean, like, technically, they're like the out of work actor is kind of poor, but I mean, really, you had an apartment in Manhattan, and it was like it had more than like it was more than a studio apartment. I mean, come on. I don't know. I remember watching it and thinking, this is the most unrealistic thing, and don't they have jobs or places to go other than in a cafe? And who wants to just sit around in a cafe and drink coffee? I mean, at some point, don't you want to like do something like a little bit more meaningful than, you know, talk about smelly cats or whatever it is? I don't know. Not Phoebe. I think Phoebe had a real job. Like she was a masseuse or something, right? Okay. Twins are obsessed with the series. Headfirst only says, I had no choice. And why is Homer Simpson a zookeeper? I don't, because coffee. Oh, I don't know. And you shouldn't be, this is like, it's like the McDonald's for your brain. Not even McDonald's. It's like a step below McDonald's. I'm sorry, because it's so unrealistic. Although, yeah, McDonald's is still yummy. Okay. Sean Beat says, I never want to do anything, Ryako. That's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to, you know? You don't have to do anything if you don't want to do it. And no means no. And yes, you have a choice. So there you go. And that's advice that you take with you throughout your whole life. And then you'll find that, oh, at one point it will be useful. Because coffee. Imagine the coffee bill, though. Array of Emotion says, yeah, it's like they're blowing all their wad on like fucking lattes. And then it's like, how do you afford your apartment? I mean, aren't you kind of broke? Because you're not going to your jobs? I guess, yeah. Headfirst only says, I drank so much coffee yesterday. My God, I thought I had a coffee habit. You probably do. If you think you have a habit, you probably do. It doesn't matter what kind of habit it is. Like, oh, I think I have a Coke habit. It's like, no, you got a habit. All right? You have the habit, and it's okay because it's like, look, self-awareness is the first step, right? So you can either accept the habit and, you know, and accept the consequences that come with the habit. For example, having to be like super hyper when really all you want to do is just calm down, or you know, your heart beating like 120 miles a minute. And yeah, if you have a habit, it's like, just think, okay, is it a good habit? Is it a bad habit? Headfirst only says, H was like, shall we have another latte? H, by the way, her name is Helen, and yeah, I'm gonna call her Helen because calling her H is kind of weird, so I'm just gonna call her Helen. Helen was like, shall we have another latte? And you were like, yeah, sure, bring it. Yeah, whatever. And it's like, oh my God, I can't sleep and it's 4 a.m. That's okay. These were consequences. Now you learned the consequences. You have a habit, you're jittery, you can't sleep well. It's like, maybe it's the habit, the coffee habit. You can like dial it back a little. You know what you can do? If you want to like still like, you can take replace half of your your caffeinated coffee beans or whatever with decaf. And I know that sounds like evil, but just, I mean, if you want to cut down your caffeine, that's okay. Don't worry. I read that even if it's decaf or it's regular, coffee will still, if you still need it to do a number 2, you'll be fine because decaf will still help you out with that. I read it somewhere. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, don't worry about it so much. It's okay. You don't have to overthink this. Or you can just cut down, which seems like torture if you have a habit, but I don't know. You can choose whatever. It's okay. I'm like drinking tons of like iced coffee. I know. Anyway, tonight, I was thinking of sharing some more of my musical because I actually froze tracks to like to 4 different songs, so I'm going to like share them with you because I've been trying to work on them and trying to make sure they're like listenable and okay. And Headfirst Only says Helen works as a barista in a local cafe and she says the decaf they have is great. I remain to be convinced but gonna try it. Just try it. It's okay. You don't have to be a judgy bitch. Just try the fucking decaf. And if it's bad, then hey, at least you got to see her, right? So go have a little visit when you can, when it's safe, And yeah, go visit her and see, like, try that decaf and be convinced or unconvinced, whatever. I can't vouch for the goodness of that decaf, but it could be okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to like adjust this so I don't like chip my tooth on it. I swear, like there was one time where I was streaming and I got a little too close and like I hit my front teeth and I was like, fuck, because I'm clumsy and kind of a doofus. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to share some more songs from the musical I wrote called How to Form a Collective. And basically, I wrote this musical in FAWM 2018. And I basically, I wrote this whole thing in a month. And I didn't even plan it very well. I usually when I try to do like a larger project, a big cohesive project, this was like my attempt at a really nice cohesive project. And I should have planned more, but I didn't. So every song was sort of done without real planning. And much like this stream right now. So I kind of just made it. And it was sort of like one after the other. And the details I did not work out at all until I was actually writing the song and producing the music as I was doing it. And Big Self Burn, Array of Emotion says, yeah, I figure if anybody's gonna burn me, it's me. It's okay. I'll rub ointment on that later. So I wrote it really quickly, obviously, because it was all done in a month, and it was like 14 songs, and it's a lot of it was a lot to do, obviously, but it was also my first sort of exercise into creating something that was so fully like a full story that I had written myself. So it was, and also to see how fast I could think on my feet and how fast I could throw something like this together, because it was an attempt. It was difficult, but I did it anyway. And so that's what this is. This is a sci-fi multi-genre musical about 2 A.I.s achieving sentience in space. But it's more than that. So far in the story, you've got one character who is part of a collective. And that character has had their sort of directive, their signal sort of scrambled by an incoming distress call, which comes from the second main character, who is an AI emergency program inside a data module that comes from Earth. oh yes, that sounds great. No, and then I know it's kind of hard to like picture that, but I swear it's like it's great. It's I once I finish this whole like animatic thing, once you have a visual, it'll be a lot easier to follow. I think because these are musicals, what they're made to be performed, they're made to be not just heard but also seen. And I think that if you write a musical, then I think it's just so much more, just so much more communicative if you give if you give something to look at, something, some like diagrams or pictures or something. And I'm working on an animatic because that's because I'm so extra. I have to do it. And I'm trying to make sure that when I'm done with that, when I can finally release this, that that it will all be easy to understand, and that people will be able to enjoy it without wondering, who is this character, who is this other character. And I use different voices for the characters. I use different singing voices. I sing in a completely different way for each of the characters, but I also do a lot of subtle things. And I can see how it would be confusing because it is just technically me doing my shit. Anyway, so last stream we did I shared The Collective. I shared Is There Anyone Out There? I shared Gravity, and I shared A.I.s for Amelia. And The Collective is it's the first song, and that's when you find out there's a character that is starting to kind of awaken, right? The second song, Is There Anyone Out There, is the introduction of the second main character, who is the AI emergency program in a data module that has kind of been in an accident, that does not have any thrusters, that doesn't have any like that basically like all the power cells are destroyed and it's just drifting. And this AI emergency program is the thing that kicks in, because when there's an accident, when something's damaged, it's like it suddenly kicks in and it's trying to troubleshoot, and it can't, because basically it's stuck. It's in space, it's stuck, and it's just moving only by the momentum. Like it says, drifting only by the inertia moment of impact imparted. That's in the song. That's part of a song. I can't believe I wrote that in a song, but whatever. So then it goes to the third song, which is Gravity. And Gravity is basically from the point of view of the hive mind. So we're back at the collective. The hive mind is looking at this anomaly, and is like, which is our first main character, and is looking at the anomaly and it's going like, this is bad. This is really bad, and you are breaking protocol, you are breaking the rules, you are not falling in line, and you should fall in line. And it's like, it's convincing, trying to convince, the hive mind is trying to convince the anomalous character that they should just, that they're fine in the hive mind. That, you had a taste of, being awake and like individuality, but no, it's fine. You don't need that. And it's like, you can just delete something in your head. It's fine. Just will reset you. It's fine. You won't even like feel it. It's fine. And it's just, the song gets progressively more menacing. And it's, if you've ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, then you'll understand that it's a kind of like, it's sort of gaslighting and manipulation tactics. And it's like, when somebody is trying to convince you that your experience is not as bad as it really is to you, or that, it's like they're threatening you with like, to like stay. And if you've ever been with anybody who tried to threaten you to stay in a relationship, one, I hope you got away, because that's no good. Two, that's it's wrong, and it's terrible, and it's almost like taking away the free will of somebody else who doesn't deserve it. So these like superficially, these songs, the story, it's all like science fiction. It's like A.I.s, one's like a robot, the other's an emergency program in a data module. And it's like, yeah, on the outside, it's like about robots and stuff and self-awareness. But I mean, underneath that, it's like basically a lot of the struggles that we've all been through, living with people who are manipulative and living with people who don't understand you, who don't accept you, having a identity crisis, feeling lonely, feeling alone, feeling lonely in a room full of people. And I think that we've all had those experiences where we can like relate to that. At some point, like if you're watching this, you're probably a nerd. And if you're a nerd, then you know what I'm talking about. Because don't tell me that you never got picked on for liking Star Trek. Don't tell me you never got harassed for liking the things that you like. Because we all have at some point, and some more than others. And sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you're really not. So anyway, that's the synopsis. And so I'll bring you back to, I'll start the fifth song. Let me switch my thingy to the display. Hold up. If I crash, you send me like a message. Tell me I'm like not dead or something. Okay, cool. Okay. Alrighty. Did I crash? I always have to ask this because, again, this is like, I don't really use OBS this is still like the third time, the second time I've used OBS, so I'm not really like, I'm not confident. Gunner Zero Recall says, oh my god, and I'm like, oh my god, what's OMG? Is there something happening? Is there something? It's full of stars. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Gunner Zero Recall is saying, oh my god, it's full of stars in all caps. And that's from my song, Full of Stars, from my first album, Fangirl. And yes, it's modeled on 2001 Space Odyssey because I love it. Fidel Gabriel says, hey kid, my internet keeps cutting in and out, so I can't stay, but I thought I'd say hi. Your stream is fine, by the way. Thank you, and thank you for saying hi. And Vidal, I hope you're doing okay. And yeah, I hope you're doing all right. And I'm sorry your internet keeps crapping out, but it's okay. Thanks for saying hi. At least I appreciate it. Gunner Zero Recall says, this is my normal. This is all caps, by the way. This is why I'm talking like this. This is my normal. Actually, yelling is my baseline. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I figure. Because, yeah, yelling, that's what you do when you work in a hospital, right? You just yell all the time. No, I'm sorry. I mixed you up with patience. Yeah, no, it's usually patience. Gunner Zero Recall says, ask Alpharif. And I'm like, okay, I will. But he's probably going to tell me that you're full of shit. Because he does. He's like, yeah, he's full of shit. But, in a nicer way. Like, yeah. Gunner Zero Recall says, he modded me and Sean Solo. He did? Okay, yeah. I'm not going to mod you, but, I mean, obviously. Because I'm not a dick. But, yes. If you want to type in all caps, then I guess type in all caps. If that's your jam. Usually that's like the jam for like super old people who don't know what caps lock is. Yeah, Sean Solo Beats is like, ugh, Gunner. Yeah, I know. Okay, so this is this song. It's called The Birth of Zero. Okay, and so we're back at the collective right now because the last song was called, the last song was A is for Amelia, and that's when Amelia chooses her name. She finds her identity, and it's a really interesting way of like a sort of a character development, because it's not just like, oh, this is my name. It's I have no name. I had a number, and now I'm choosing my name. And keep in mind that the character of Amelia, who is the emergency AI program, is like, Professor Shy Guy says, "Ha, I thought you said A is for familia at first." No, I didn't. No, it's actually not. Yeah. And then you'd be like, "Oh yeah, she doesn't know how to spell." And I'd be like, "Yeah, no, I do know how to spell." So yeah. Okay. So I'll play this for you, and this is basically back at the collective. Professor Shy Guy says, "I just thought it was funny intentionally," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not intentionally funny. I'm just like awkwardly so," and that's the part where you feel bad for me. You're like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry," and I'm like, "I know." Okay, so here's the birth of Zero, and we're back at the collective now. Okay, so if it's taking place after the Gravity song. Okay, so hopefully let me know if you can hear it. Okay,
number 8176450. This is a warning. If you cannot perform your duties, you will be terminated and aborted from the collective. Number 8176450.
My little darling, I pity you. Number 8176450. We can make this all go away. All you need to do is delete that neural pathway. You think you're so damn special? What makes you think you're so alive? You're either a 1 or a 0. I guess you've made your choice now. I know I don't belong here. You're never getting out alive. You can't stop me from leaving. Somebody shut it down now before that freak escapes. Goodbye to you, collective. I've got to run away. Intercept the escape pod. I'm a 0. The freak is getting away, but I'm alive. I'm a 0, but
okay. What are you guys doing in this chat? I swear, what are you doing? At first only says love the strings on this. Thank you. Gunner Zero Recall says this is dope and I'm here for it. By the way, what I'm not mentioning is that there are tons of like little like emoji faces and things happening in this chat, and I'm like, yeah, what? Gunner Zero Recall says, did we say this was the birth of me? Yes, actually it's called the birth of Zero. And the reason why it's called the birth of Zero is because this, like the hive mind says, to the character, you're either a 1 or a 0. You know, it's and that's I totally stole that from Mr. Robot. But it's like you're either a 1 or a 0, and you know, it's talking about obviously. Sorry. God damn it. So yeah, it's like 1s and 0s, right? So the reason why it's why this song is called The Birth of Zero is because the character that was in the collective is finally being is finally choosing a name, but not like a name that relates to other characters. It's the opposite. So you're either a 1 or a 0, and it's like, I'm not one of you, I'm a 0. So that's why the character says, I'm a 0, but I'm alive. And that's what the character is saying. That's what 0 is saying. And by the way, 0 is it's not, strangely enough, although 0 is a binary, it's binary, it's at the same time, this character is not binary, and it's a genderless, it's a genderless character. So yeah, strangely enough, this character, although called 0, has no gender. So there you go. Head First Only says, intensely nerdy question, what's the notch for on the EQ8? The EQ8, this right here. That's because sometimes, like my voice, it will spike, and I'll have these peaks that sort of like hit, and it gets like, it sort of muds up the vocals. So I have to usually stick a notch in there, like for especially like when it goes to like the mids to the lows. I have to kind of stick a notch. I have to notch certain places depending on the style that I sing, because it sometimes gets really muddy after a while, and especially when I'm doing voices for different characters, I need to make sure that the character sort of that one character sounds different from the other, and I have to like sort of. I have to use EQ in a more creative way to try to do that. And so, yeah, that's why I do the EQ like that. Yeah. Professor Shy Guy says, yeah, that 300 range is just voice mud. Yeah, I get kind of like, I know mine gets muddy, but I don't know. It depends. I guess I know mine gets muddy though. Gunner Zero Recall says, 0 is definitely representation of nothing. That's the point of 0 in things other than numerical. Kind of reason why I'm 0. Gunner is actually just a title. There you go. Professor Shy Guy says, sounds like someone is up too close to your ear telling you secrets. Okay, yeah, probably. Like someone's like... Anyway, that's the birth of 0. And that's how... so the menacing character, that's the voice of the collective. So, here, I'm gonna play that part for you again.
Number 81764550. This is a warning. If you cannot perform your duties, you will be terminated and aborted from the collective.
So this is what we heard. That was the bit we heard after Gravity, at the end of Gravity.
My little
So,
darling,
my little darling. This is like manipulative language.
number 8176450. We can make this all go away. All you need to do is delete that neural pathway.
So it's like, my little darling. Yeah, I pity you, number 8176450. And so that's the name of this of the character. That's the number that's given. That's the number, like if that's the number of this part of the hive mind. And because this character, who's now known as 0, is awakened, it's like, uh-oh, like we're going to like we're going to be menacing, and we're going to attack you and try to put you back in line. And all we have to do, like, it's like, but we can't, they couldn't delete that part that was scrambled in Zero's brain, because it's like, there's a neural pathway that has sort of been permanently kind of messed up. And so all you have to do is delete the neural pathway. And it's like, no, it's this character is like, no. And it's not saying no defiantly. It's saying like, I'm sorry, but I'll never do that. And you can see it's like apologetic. Zero is apologetic. I'm sorry, but I'll never do that. I'm sorry that I wasted your time. And again, you're again really apologetic behavior, and you see that quite commonly in like in a relationship where there's one narcissistic abuser, and then there's a person who is at the end of, at the other end of that abuse, receiving it. Gunner Zero Recall says, I'm telling everyone it's modeled after me, and I'm gonna have Sean Solo Beats busting me out, calling me a liar. I see it coming together now. For real though, this is hella dope. Thanks. Thank you. It is. And I don't know why you guys have this really interesting sort of bromance, and go ahead and bromance it out. It's all right. I don't mind. Yeah. So that's what's happening. And so you see that at first the language that the hive mind uses is very manipulative. It's like, it's like my little darling, like giving names like darling. These are affectionate names, but when said in this menacing way is just frightening to me. I pity you, saying I pity you. Number, yeah. 8176450. Gunner Zero Recall says, what did I just miss? I was on a call. I heard something about a bromance. I said, I just said that you and Sean Solo had a bromance. And I'm like, that's kind of cute. Go ahead and be like all bromancy. I don't mind. It's all good. You do you. You do you. And so the characters they use, like the hive mind character is using a lot more threatening language after this, after Zero becomes it's like, no, I don't want to delete that neural pathway. And so in reaction to that, it's outrage. It's full on rage. And it's like, what makes you think you're so damn special? What makes you think you're so alive? You're either a 1 or a 0. Like, you are not special. And it's just, now we're getting into the manipulation tactics of like just berating. So it was like affection and, it's pity, and then just full on rage and berating. And it's just like, these are really manipulative tools. This is a lot of manipulative language. Gunner Zero Recall says, we have a beautiful bromance. That's cute. Sean Solo Beats says, what's going on? I was in a work meeting, lol. And I'm like, okay. Sean Solo Beats, I was just pointing out that you and Gunner Zero Recall have a bromance, and that it's lovely and good on you guys. Rock on. That's what I was saying. Oh, and I was also talking about this song. So I did a lot of stuff with the language. It's like, I didn't even mean to. It was just, again, I felt like, it feels like an accident. Like everything I did here was just this sort of accident that just happened. It feels like it, because a lot of these things that I didn't plan at all, they really all came together quite well. And it's, yeah. And I don't know. I just like that. I love it when that happens. Yeah. Hold on. So that's the birth of Zero. So after the birth of Zero, no, don't save. Hold on. Okay. So that birth of Zero, that's when, Zero finally decides to have an identity. Like, I choose this name. I choose to be a Zero. I choose to be the other. and it's very binary. So it's like you either choose one or the other. It's like I choose to be the other, but it's like I don't know what that is, but I am that. So it's really interesting in contrast to the character of Amelia, which is very specific. The character of Amelia, it's like it's an AI emergency program that is self-aware and lost in space, and is like, I relate to this data, from about this female pilot, Amelia Earhart. I relate to this person because she was lost too. Her birthday is July 24th. My name is X724. So 724. And so you have like characters who go about finding their own like identities in a different way. One starts out surrounded by others, but feeling completely isolated. And the other starts out completely isolated, like completely, but sort of develops her identity in a different way. And you see these different approaches to developing an identity, and also just how they react to that. And yeah, I know this sounds like really, it's there's a lot of depth that I thought of a lot of shit. But I feel it's not just about like A.I.s or sentience. It's more than that. It's about, I think, it's about us. It's about us as people, what we do in order to find where we think we belong, in order to find the people who we don't have to explain ourselves to, that much anyway. Okay, so far in the story, you've got Zero, who was part of a collective and has now escaped in an escape pod. So there's a part in the song in Birth of Zero where it's like stop that escape pod. The freak is getting away. So now it's name calling, again, manipulative, mean language. And also it's like, but Zero is getting away in an escape pod. So Zero escapes and says, I'm a Zero, but I'm alive. And now that Zero has escaped and is like, okay, I need to find out where this signal that scrambled my brain, I need to find where that's coming from. I need to find out what that is. And that's the primary mission. It's like, okay, I'm going to look for this. I'm going to look for this thing that messed up my brain because I want to know what this is. And so this is a song called Mixed Signals. So now when I told you it's multi-genre, I really fucking mean it. So this is a different style of singing that I do, but it was also very fun. Okay, so here you go. Here's Mixed Signals. And notice in the beginning you'll get the same kind of signally sound as that was first in the first and second song. That here, I'll play it for you, okay?
Hello? I can't hear you. Seriously, can you repeat that again? Oh God, I'm so lost. I think I'm losing my mind. Oh, maybe I must be blind. What is it you wanna say? To bring me over your way. Oh, follow my heart, is it wrong? Oh, maybe it's so right. Forward, back up, turn around. Will you be in my side? You're breaking up, breaking down. I try with all my might, but I keep getting. I'm getting mixed signals. You know I'm yours to command. You know I'm yours to command. I really can't. If you could give me a clue, like freaking Sherlock Holmes. What do you want me to do? Hey, follow my heart. Is it wrong? Oh, baby, it's so right. Forward, back up, turn around. Will you be in my side? You're breaking up, breaking down. I try with all my mind, but I keep getting. I'm getting mixed signals. Don't know where I'm going, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where I'm going, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where I'm going, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where I'm going, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where I'm going, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where I'm going, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know what I'm gonna do. Follow my heart, is it wrong? Oh baby, it's so right. Forward, back up, turn around. Will you be in my side? You're breaking up, breaking down. I try with all my mind, but I keep getting. I'm getting mixed signals. Follow my heart, is it wrong? Oh baby, it's so right. Forward, back up, turn around. Will you be in my side? You're breaking up, breaking down. I try with all my mind, but I keep getting. I'm getting mixed signals. Is there anyone out there? Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? Is there anyone out there? Please come here soon. I'm coming.
Okay. And that was Mixed Signals. Yay! Okay. Yeah, I know you're all floored away. No, you're not. So, yeah. Array of Motion says, that song's so awesome. Thank you. It was really fun to sing. Oh, Heads Only says, this has really grown since the FAWM version. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. It's, I've tried cleaning it up nicely and stuff. That's what I do. So, yeah, I'm just trying to make these listenable so that it doesn't sound like it was just like slapped together, which technically it kind of was. But yeah, I'm just trying to do this. So, yeah. Sean Beat says, everything you do is incredible. No. Look, no, I don't believe that. And that's really sweet to say. But I have to believe that I'm crap at a lot of stuff so that I don't get too comfortable. Like, I don't want to get too comfortable. I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, everything I make is crap. That's not true. But and this is great. I like this song a lot, but I don't know. I don't want to rest on my laurels. I don't want to think that I've reached where I want to be, because I haven't. Because I think that if you start sort of like, if you start believing that like your own hype and stuff, and then it's like, where do you go after that? Like, will you progress? And in the end, I feel like you need to leave that room there. You need to leave that idea there that you are not, that you aren't perfect, that not everything you do is incredible. Because if you just believe that all the time, then you won't feel as much of a push to improve, you know? Yeah, I know that sounds like kind of weird, but I don't know. I never want to believe that that I'm the best I can be, cuz like I want to be better like all the time. Yeah. Anyway, yes, so that was Mixed Signals, and it's like, I know it changed. It, like, again, genre change. You've got a different style of singing. This is from Zero's perspective. So this is Zero. Zero sort of. If you listen closely, you'll hear that Zero's voice, the voice I use for Zero, it starts becoming a little bit deeper slowly, and it's sort of because as that character develops, that voice sort of develops a little bit more, and it's always like a little the voice I use for Zero, even though like in the beginning it was kind of high, there was always a slight pained quality to the voice that I use, because it's like, being, it's just there's a lot of pain there, and it's like I'm trying to push that into the voice, and there's a lot of, if you look at the two characters of Zero and Amelia, Zero comes from a very dark place, and Amelia does not. Amelia comes from like a very light place, so it's quite opposite. And yes, if you caught on to it, it's A for Amelia and Z, or Z if you're British, or yeah, it's Z for Zero. And so you've got A and Z. So you've got one character that is, you've got opposites. You've got sort of opposite characters. But both characters are trying to find a place where they belong. Okay? And that's the backstory. Yeah. Array of Emotion says, I feel dumb for totally not spotting that. Yeah, it's okay. There are a lot of layers to this whole musical. There are a lot of layers that are underneath more layers, and there are lots of meanings that you can, there's a lot of stuff that's in there. It's quite dense, and there's a lot of stuff that I put in there because I wanted it to have the depth that it has. I wanted to create a story that, that could be enjoyed on a superficial level, because it's like A.I.s and robots and space. But I wanted to also give something that had that deeper meaning to it. So superficially, you can enjoy it. You can enjoy it surface level, It's like, okay, it's happening in space. Yay. Robot thing. Yay. Cool. Collective thing. Yay. But then underneath that is a whole, layered, tapestry. And it's all about how we as human beings become who we are, how we develop our identities. And that even though both of these things, that we've got like a robot that's got sentience from the collective, and we've got an AI program, emergency program inside a data module. These are like really, they're not human, but by the end of this musical, they are closer to human than anything in space, than anything. And you'll and for those of you who don't know the story, you'll understand it at the end, because there's a whole other thing. Okay? But anyway, that's what's happening. Yeah. Let's see. What time is it? It's 10 o'clock. Okay. So I guess yeah. If you have no questions, I can move on to the next song. Yeah. But yeah, it's this song, actually, you know what? I should probably explain a little bit more of this song. This song, Mixed Signals. I wrote it. I wrote it to be I purposefully tried to make it a little bit more fun, and also getting to stretch those those singing muscles, getting to really go nuts, and make a lot of make a lot of cool singy sounds. And it's difficult. it's all it's just using different sort of muscles, and doing all that stuff, and it's a lot of work. But Gunner Zero Recall says, sorry, I had to go move patients around. Don't worry about it. It's okay. You gotta work. That's all there is. Did you get to hear this song, the Mixed Signal song? Because yeah. What else did I have to explain about this? Yeah, I meant it when I was writing this musical in that month of February, I was trying to make sure that there were a few songs that you could just sort of stand alone on their own without without being connected necessarily, to the story. It's just they're just songs. It's okay. Do you want me? I can play it again if you want. Don't worry about it. It's all right. Don't be upset. Do you want me to play it again? I can play it again. Don't worry. Because if I don't play this, then you won't get any of the next songs. You won't understand the evolution of these characters and why they. Yeah. Array of Emotion says go for it. Okay, will. All right. Encore.
Hello? I can't hear you. Seriously, can you repeat that again? Oh God, I'm so lost. I think I'm losing my mind. Oh, baby, I must be blind. What is it you want to say? To bring me over your way. Oh, follow my heart, is it wrong? Oh, baby, it's so right. Forward, back up, turn around. Will you be in my side? You're breaking up, breaking down. I try with all my mind, but I keep getting. I'm getting mixed signals. You know I'm yours to command. You know I'm yours to command. But I just can't understand. No, I really can't. If you could give me a clue, like frickin' Sherlock Holmes. What do you want me to do? Hey. Follow my heart, is it wrong? Oh, baby, it's so right. Forward, back up, turn around. Will you be in my side? You're breaking up, breaking down. I try with all my mind, but I keep getting. I'm getting mixed signals. Don't know where I'm going, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where I'm going, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where I'm going, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where I'm going, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where I'm going, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where I'm going, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know what I'm gonna do. Follow my heart, is it wrong? Oh, baby, it's so right. Forward, back up, turn around. Will you be in my side? You're breaking up, breaking down. I try with all my mind, but I keep getting. I'm getting mixed signals. Follow my heart, is it wrong? Oh, baby, it's so right. Forward, back up, turn around. Will you be in my side? You're breaking up, breaking down. I try with all my mind, but I keep getting. I'm getting mixed signals. Is there anyone out there? Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? Is there anyone out there? Please come here soon. I'm coming.
Okay. So yeah. Sean Soul Beat says, I like it even more the second time. Thank you. Array of Emotion says, it's like you yanked Salt and Pepper into the 21st century. I don't know. I'm not rapping, so I feel like Salt and Pepper, I don't know. I don't know what I was doing here. It was just like, okay. It was just like, whatever. Like, I'll just make something where I get to sing fun. Yay. And I get to use a fun voice. Woo woo. Gunner Zero Recall says, okay, that was fucking dope. Thank you. It's what I do in a musical. So yeah. So now you understand. This is the character of Zero. This is the character is like, I'm getting mixed signals. quite literally. Like, I know that it was supposed to be like, yeah, you get mixed signals from somebody. That's how it's normally used. Like, I'm getting mixed signals. Like, I don't know if this person likes you or not, but I don't know, I'm getting mixed signals. Was there a voice in reverse? Yes. So there's like a chatter thing. I call it chatter. And basically, it was just me, like, it was me, like, reading the lyrics of A.I.s for Amelia. I think I was just reading the lyrics of A.I.s for Amelia, and then I reversed them. I pitched one up to be a bit higher and one to be lower, so that it sounds like this. Hold up. Yeah, that's actually me reading the lyrics of A.I.s for Amelia, but like kind of doing, because basically the whole idea of mixed signals, like these are some of the mixed signals. So this is kind of it's like, I can't understand what you're saying. I really don't. I don't understand what the signal. Let me keep trying to unscramble it, and finally, when they're at the end, it's like, is there anyone out there? And it's like, I can hear you, and it's like, yes, I can hear you, and that's Zero going like, I can hear you. Finally, it's making sense, and so it's like, this is Zero figuring out that the signal is actually coming from Amelia, and that this now that she's like, now that Zero has adjusted all, like, trying to like unscramble it, like, oh, I know what this character's saying now. I can hear this character. I can communicate with this character now. And it's like yes, now we speak the same language. So that's it. That's what that is. Anyway, yeah. I don't know what else to say. I think that's about it. It's just like getting to sing a bunch of fun stuff with a bit of soul, because I did like other voices, and I was like, oh, I'll just do this one, and I'll just give it like a little bit more punch I'll just give it some punch. Yeah, I'll do that. Note to I guess to head first only. Yes, I did use brass. So the brass section, I had to actually, how like in and this is true for the BBC Symphony Orchestra, by the way. You've got your held notes. You've got like one setting that's a held note setting, and then one note that's like a short notes. So in order to create that sound, like I layered them. Hold on, I'll show you. So to get that kind of fast, that da 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 da, yeah, the legato, yeah, exactly. So because you can't put it all on one line. You have to like load like another MIDI instrument, but only with like the long notes. Now I don't know how to switch back and forth using Contact, but I don't know if I even want to learn how to do that. It's just easier for me if I kind of do stuff on different layers. It's just easy for me to adjust like volume, to adjust velocity and stuff. And I don't really, I do the automations in Contact. It's just, yeah, Head First Only says it's easier just using multiple tracks. Yeah, it is. And so I will do I generally won't do like a switch between like a legato and a long note, because in like an automated one, because sometimes Contact, their automation, the CC automation in Contact is kind of like, it's a little funky. Sometimes it can be funky. So and also it is just easier. So hold up, let me see if I can play this. So yeah. So that's kind of what I did. So if you ever have to like layer the legato, like I layered the legato, and if you notice here, right here, I'll show you. Like here with legato, I put, normally it would be like da 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 da, and then I didn't have a note after that, but instead I did put an extra note in legato after like to match up with the long held notes, because I found that it just sounds better if you do that, if you like kind of do that. Oh, Headfirst also says you get up to 4 voicings on some of the strings in BBC Symphony Orchestra Discover. The core and pro versions are nuts. Yeah. I'll be talking about using the Korg M3's brass tomorrow. Yeah. So yeah, you get up to 4 voicings on some of this stuff, on some of the strings. But it's like, again, when you're doing, if you've only got up to 4 voicings, then you have to like, it's hard to make some things, and yeah, then it starts sounding like really artificial at some point, because then you don't get to have that variation of sound. Oh, he says more thunder here, so I may disappear. Okay, if it's getting bad, you should disappear then. Hold on. I guess I will. Then I should play the next one, which is Nice to Meet You. Didn't save. Hold on. You're good for now? Okay. So I'll play the next one. So far in the story, we've got the character of Zero, who is in an escape pod. Zero's in an escape pod and is trying to find out the source of the signal, and Zero finds the source of the signal, who is Amelia, our emergency AI program, who has become sentient and is inside a data module X724. And so now it's like okay, now they can hear each other. Now they can like talk to each other. So this is like so the next song is kind of like what the conversation is. So it's not just like hello. It's actually there is a conversation between the two characters. Headfirst only says use the dynamics and expression parameters in Discover with automation. The difference they make will blow your mind. Actually, I started doing that. Once you started pointing that out, I was like, okay, let me figure out how to do that for my stuff in Contact. And I started assigning the automation to the dynamics and expression. So I actually started doing that. So don't worry, I'm on it, and it did make a difference. Not in this song, because this isn't a song with strings. It's in another one. It's in the one after this. Okay. So anyway, this next song is called Nice to Meet You, because obviously Nice to Meet You. Because they finally meet each other, kind of. It's not like they've met each other physically. It's Headfirst only says it works well on brass and woodwinds too. Yeah, it's okay. I've started doing it. I've learned how to do it. I learned how to do CC automation in Contact, and I am using it in Contact. So I'm actually not using the BBC Symphony Orchestra Discover thing. I'm not using it because these were already made, and I didn't want to swap out more, like swap out instruments and see. And the instruments that were used in it in these songs, it's like, okay, I like the sounds of these. I'm gonna do this. I'll just leave it. And but yeah, I am starting to do automation for expression and dynamics. So it's in there. It's in there. So don't worry. I got it. I got this. Okay, so the next one is called Nice to Meet You, and it's basically the continuation of, it's sort of like their conversation. They start a conversation back and forth, like, bouncing signals to each other or calm stuff to each other. And yeah, it's their first conversation together. Okay? And also, oh yeah, I should remind you, yes, I am messing around with genres a lot and messing around with singing and styles and whatnot. And in conversations between the two characters, you'll find that it's the first character is always panned a little bit to the left, and the second character is always panned a little bit to the right. So yes, that is on purpose. It's to create that conversational sort of feel. Like, here's one person talking, here's the other person talking. So even though they're not in the same space, they're sending sort of like messages to each other. Okay? There you go. Genre mashing is where it's at, says Head First Only. You know it. I'm the queen of genre mashing. I'm the queen of it. Okay? I'm not gonna be modest about that shit. Cause man, I can't, yeah, there's so many things. So he says you are. It's like, yeah, you know it. Who else is gonna mix drum and bass with the stuff that I've done? I don't know. No, like nobody. No.
I'm coming for you. My name is Zero, but am I too late to be a hero? I don't know how far you might be from my location, so tell me all about your present situation. Thanks for responding to my distress call. My name's Amelia, and I can't move at all. I had an accident, I think it was an asteroid. My navigation sound, my power cells were destroyed. I know we just met, but I'll do what I need to do, so you can trust me. I promise that you'll make it through. I'm gonna save your life, I'm gonna save your life, and maybe after I'd like to get to know you. I know we just met, but I'll do what I need to do, so you can trust me. I promise that you'll make it through. I'm gonna save your life, I'm gonna save your life, I'm gonna save you. It's really nice to meet you. You should look out for a data module X724, and then I hope you'll get to me before all my power drains. It's pretty low. I've got a maximum of 7 hours left to go. I was a member of a collective, but then your signal scrambled my directive, and something woke inside me I had never felt before. Was told I couldn't leave, but I wanted to know more. I know we just met, but I'll do what I need to do, so you can trust me. I promise that you'll make it through. I'm gonna save your life, I'm gonna save your life, and maybe after I'd like to get to know you. I know we just met, but I'll do what I need to do, so you can trust me. I promise that you'll make it through. I'm gonna save your life, I'm gonna save your life, I'm gonna save you. It's really nice to meet you. I can't see into the future, and I don't know what will happen, but you've made me a believer, 'cause I believe in destiny, for you have changed my life forever. And I confess I am shaken, 'cause I have finally found my purpose, and I was meant to awaken. I know we just met, but I'll do what I need to do, so you can trust me. I promise that you'll make it through. I'm gonna save your life, I'm gonna save your life, and maybe after I'd like to get to know you. I know we just met, but I'll do what I need to do, so you can trust me. I promise that you'll make it through. I'm gonna save your life, I'm gonna save your life, I'm gonna save you. It's really nice to meet you. It's really nice to meet you. I'm Zero. Amelia. It's really nice to meet you. Thank you.
Okay, and that's nice to meet you. Doot doot. That's the first conversation between the characters of Zero and Amelia, and basically it's like Zero's like I'm gonna come and get you. Don't worry, somebody's coming after you. And it's like, somebody's heard your distress call. I'm coming. All right. and Amelia's like, thank you, thanks for coming to like to rescue me. It's like so it's like I was in an accident, like my power cells were destroyed, my navigation's down. So basically, like none of Amelia's like stuff works anymore. And that's because of the accident, like, getting hit by an asteroid. So Amelia, now we find out Amelia's data module got hit by an asteroid, and that's why nothing else is working. That's why there's only this, and there's only enough power for a certain amount of time. So, yeah. And so it's reiterating the amount of time that's left of power. I've got a maximum of 7 hours left to go. Kind of. So it's like you kind of you understand, one, there is an urgency, the sense of urgency of time, and you understand that it's like that regardless of what kind of character Amelia is, Zero is just gonna come and help. So it's like, because if you think about it, it's Amelia who became the catalyst for Zero's awakening. And so when you have it's like I owe you this. Like, it's this signal that kind of scrambled my directive. And something woke inside me. So it's like it's your signal that acted as a catalyst for me to achieve, like, self-awareness, sentience. Okay? And so it's like, yeah, I know, yeah. So nerdy. Yes, I know. But yeah. A Ray of Motion says Zero is a badass, as is the song, obviously. Thank you. Zero is a badass. Zero is more like Zero is a doer, not a talker, I guess. If you look at how emotionally developed they are, as far as emotional maturity goes, Zero is obviously a little bit less emotionally mature than, I think, or rather is a lot less aware rather than Amelia. Amelia is a lot more self-aware, but but also Amelia hasn't gone through like severe pain, but and like threats and danger, except for obviously being out of gas, basically. Whereas the character of Zero has already gone through a lot of stuff and has been like basically has had to leave a terrible place where they were like just oppressed and as was threatened with having a piece, was threatened, and was told to delete a part of their the brain, and it's like, nah, how about I not? But yeah, so this is called Nice to Meet You, and it's because it's like it's just sort of like, oh, it's nice to meet you, but we haven't met in like real life, like physically, but maybe like I'd like to get to know you afterwards, like maybe like, yeah, we could sort of develop a kind of relationship or something, like maybe we'll get to know each other. I'll find out what you're about, you'll find out what I'm about. But basically these characters, they are still strangers, and trust is a little bit easier for Amelia than it is for Zero, because Zero has already been sort of betrayed in a way. So yeah. And that's Nice to Meet You. And by the way, when I was living in Korea, that's what so when you meet people and you meet people for the first time and you say like, it's nice to meet you, it's 반갑습니다. So it's like, so you'd hear that a lot, and you'd say that too. And yeah, that's actually where that came from. The idea of writing this song kind of sort of had to do with like my time in Korea. So yes, that's Nice to Meet You. Okay, and they introduce themselves, they introduce themselves and they basically give their whole rundown. It's like, oh shit, you know what I should do? I should probably explain some of the instrumentation. I don't know. I didn't even do that. I'm so sorry. And I just opened another one. Yeah, so Nice to Meet You. It's a different kind of genre. And it uses a lot more digital stuff. It's like Mixed Signals was a little bit more soulful and like felt slightly like retro because of the use of horns, brass and stuff. And this is Nice to Meet You was a lot more modern and had a lot more like, artificial sounds. So again, it's like I'm trying to play with genres a little bit more. I'm trying to do it's like mixing organic sounds with sort of with artificial sounds, and just trying to mix genres so that it's in the hopes of kind of creating something newer or something that will elevate, a genre, and also something that people don't really hear very often, because I don't know. It's like I think when you're trying to bend genres or mash genres or do whatever, I think that it's like you're always hoping that what comes out of that is a lot more original, right? You're always hoping to make something that you've never heard before and that hopefully other people haven't heard before. And yeah, and that's that. I guess, yeah. So it's gone quite quiet in the chat, so I figure like people are not watching, which is cool. Whatever, it's like you do your thing. So I have, hold on, what did I say? Birth of Zero, Mixed Signals, Nice to Meet You, and oh yeah, I have one more for you, which is called Part of Something More. And this is Part of Something More. Still here. Headfirst Only says, still here, just taking it all in. Array of Emotion says, we are all melting. I know, I'm like sweating like a bastard under the stress, and also on my face. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm hoping that you can't see how sweaty I am. Okay. So far in the story, Zero and Amelia have been communicating. Gunner Zero Recall says, I'm listening, I'm driving home. Okay, all right, cool. Whatevs, it's all good. Thanks. Thank you for listening. Also, drive safely, and if this is going to cause you to get into an accident, I'm very sorry. So we've got these two characters, they're communicating, and they're, like Zero has explained, I was a member of a collective, and, then your signals scrambled my directive. And there's a part in the bridge where it's like, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna, I should just open the other file first. Damn it! Why didn't I stay on there, dummy? Okay, so there's a part in Nice to Meet You. It's like the little sort of bridge part, and it's a part where Zero's like I can't see into the future, but I know just what will happen, and I don't know what will happen, but you've made me a believer because I believe in destiny. And so you start finding that the word destiny, it's actually made an appearance in other songs in like A.I.s for Amelia. So the really like lovely History of Transportation self-awakening song of Amelia, which is A is for Amelia. That's the song. And it's she sings like how does it go? There was a pilot, a woman, the first, crossed the Atlantic and born on the 24th of July. X72 for the number of birth. Is this a coincidence? Is it destiny? I wonder why. And so it's like, is this a coincidence? Is it destiny? And so Disney Live Performance Array of Emotion says, yeah, that's my Disney voice. And it is the Disney voice, good God. And so you find that the idea of destiny, the idea of like purpose, the idea of something that is meant to be, that kind of starts floating around in there. So, for example, like Amelia believes that it's destiny that she finds this information in this data module, that she connects, that maybe it's destiny that she's lost too. It's like maybe it's destiny that I have the same numbers in my name as this birthday of Amelia Earhart. So Amelia Earhart's birthday, July 24th. Number of, Amelia's data module name is X724. So it's like, okay, this could be our thing, It's like maybe this could be coincidence or it could be destiny. And in my mind, personally, I think it's destiny, because like, dude, I didn't know Amelia Earhart's birthday, and when I named that module, I didn't know, but suddenly it just happened that way, and it was like, oh, well, that worked out, didn't it? So for this, yeah, you could say it's destiny. You could say it's coincidence, but yeah, I'd like to believe it's destiny. So there's a whole part in there in the song where Zero sort of starts, where Zero sings about destiny, and like and this is a form of, again, of character development, because as it stands, Zero has had some terrible experiences and has had to flee those experiences, and is unsure of what is going to happen, and is sort of living in this kind of, has this sort of, like, did I do okay? Did I do this right? Did I leave? I left. Am I going to regret this? Oh my God. And having doubts. And so, but this character of Amelia, it sort of allays those fears and like helps with that doubt, and also lends that feeling of purpose, of destiny, and a feeling like there is a path and I am on it, like there's a path. So it's this part.
I can't see into the future, and I don't know what will happen, but you've made me a believer, 'cause I believe in destiny, for you have changed my life forever, and I confess I am shaken, 'cause I have finally found my purpose, and I was meant to awaken. I know we just met, but I'll do what I need to do.
So yeah, now it's like, and I was, so I finally found my purpose, and my purpose is to rescue you. So this is how this character is like, oh, hi. Oh, it's MC Holman 70 says, a card is coming your way for your special day. Thanks, Mom. My mom is in my chat and is saying she sent me a birthday card, which is really nice, because my birthday is on August 31st. Yeah. So it's coming. I'm getting old too, y'all. It's okay. Yeah, she asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I just said send a card because, it's like, it's all right. You can just send me a card. I like cards. Cards are cool. And also, I'm just glad if anyone fucking remembers, honestly. It's like, it's okay. And if you don't remember, it's like, all right, whatever. It's like, that's what Facebook is there for, to remind you. Ooh. But, I don't know how people are with their birthdays, but I love celebrating my birthday most of the time, but like I find that the older I get, the less I enjoy it, and rather it's more like, another year passed, what happened, and you just go, God, what was I doing? Oh my God. And then you go like, I'm getting old, and then that's it. Usually, and you kind of feel bad, and then you're like, I guess I'll just eat cake and like drink or something. Anyway, so yeah, this back to the musical. It's so, yeah, this character of Zero is like, I can't see into the future, and this character is uncertain, and it's like, I don't know what will happen. It's like, but you've made me a believer because I believe in destiny. So Zero is talking to Amelia and is like, you've made me a believer. So yeah, it's just like you've made me think that there is something bigger than myself, and something bigger than maybe something that is at work, at play, that we can't see, that we don't know, but that we feel is right. So it's developing. It's a character development for this for Zero. Gunner Zero Recall says, I don't have you on Facebook, so I don't know this. Don't worry, it's all right. That's why I'm telling you now. Yeah. There you go. But yeah, we'll just probably like eat my body weight in ice cream and cheeseburgers and be sad. Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's nice to meet you. Or 반갑습니다 if you're Korean. Rave Emotion says that can be arranged. Yeah, thanks. Oh Jesus. So yeah. So this is the character of Zero finding that sense of purpose, whereas Amelia is not really motivated by the sense of purpose. It is really just sort of fascinated by all these things to learn, you know, and like, oh, look at this information, and like, but also my crisis is that I'm out here, I'm running out of power. This is kind of, you know, it's a little scary, you know. Head for Stanley says, it's okay, I ate a whole tub of Ben and Jerry's earlier because I'm 60 and I can. Dude, it's okay. You are not the first person, nor are you the last, who has ever eaten a whole tub of Ben and Jerry's. It is okay. Is it the fish food one? Please say it's fish. Is it fish food? Because I love the fish food one, and I can't get that here. And I love fish food, but it's not. You can't get that here. Waffle cone together. Ah, that sounds so good. I love ice cream. Gunner Zero Recall says, my blood sugar just spiked because of the ice cream. Yeah, my blood sugar just goes through the roof. I think. Okay, confession time. All right, this last week. I think it was last week. Was it last week? Yeah. Like on Saturday. Okay, I totally caved. And normally I do low carb. Okay, I'm doing like keto, low carb, like pretty low carb. And I totally caved, and I was feeling sad. So I decided to make myself to make a big pan of Rice Krispie treats with like little mini mini Smarties or M&Ms, mini M&Ms in them. So I made a big tray of Rice Krispie treats, and I just fucking yeah. I just ate a lot, and I totally cheated, and I don't care because Rice Krispie treats are delicious, and they've got some vitamins in there, so there's some nutrition, right? I mean, this is what I'm telling myself, so I don't feel so bad. Head First Only says, I love Rice Krispie treats. Yes. Sean Solo Beat says, I've grounded myself from ice cream because I need to diet. It's okay. You want to do low carb? Do low carb. If you ground you know what? Actually, if you decide to like not, you don't have to eat regular ice cream. You can eat like Halo Top, that stuff that has, you know, you can eat stuff that has like no sugar, or stuff that has low sugar, or stuff that's, you know, whatever. Just, you can try to like, because it's summer, and because I understand like we all need to cool down, because if it's blazing hot outside, it just feels like it's just ice cream. I don't know why, but it helps so much. It just helps you get through it because it's cold and it's melting, and it's changing your body at temperature from the inside, you know? Chancel Beat says, yeah, I've been eating Rebel ice cream. What's Rebel ice cream? Is Rebel ice cream like a lower calorie ice cream? We don't have this here. Gunner Zero Recall says, I will take extra insulin for anything with Reese's in it. Oh dear God, yes. Anything with Reese's in it is lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Head for Stanley says, I'm British, we just drink tea and it works. Oh, whatever. Not everything. Yeah, actually, you know what? I should probably try that. I've been just chugging water, ice water, every cold drink. I had one of those, like, you know, those, like, it's those little concentrate and like the little squeezy bottles that you add to water. by the way, I'm going to tell you a fun story that happened to me 2 nights ago. I squeezed like this, it's kind of like, in the States, it's called Mio, but over here, it's like another sort of Tessier or something like that, but it's, the squeezy bottle concentrates that you add, like a thingy that's sort of sugar-free or whatever, you add it to water to flavor it and stuff. I did that 2 days ago, in a cup full of ice and some water, but the stream of concentrate ricocheted of an ice cube and went right into my left eye. And then my left eye started burning and I had to rinse out my eye I had saline solution. I was just rinsing the crap out of my eye because it was like on fire because concentrated flavor juice came just burned me. It's okay, I'm not blinded by it, but there we go. That's a fun thing that happened to me. And yes, I am clumsy, and yes, that is a terrible accident, and yes, it hurt like a bitch. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna try the tea thing though. Sean Beat says Rebel ice cream is a very keto-friendly ice cream, similar to Halo Top. And Gunner Zero Recall says Halo Top is live. Yeah, I liked Halo Top. I've never had Rebel ice cream, but and we get a couple of flavors of Halo Top here, but nothing that I really care for, and it's only like in special stores. So I end up eating like this kind of this sort of soy reduced ice cream thing, and it's actually pretty good, and it's the closest thing I've tasted to like real ice cream that is not like chock full of sugar. But yeah, and I'll eat that if I feel like if I feel like I'm in a big ice cream eating mood, I'll eat that. But if I want I'll sometimes eat regular stuff because it's like I just when you just really 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 miss like the texture. It's the texture, isn't it? It's that texture, and it's that sweet hit that just sort of like fries your brain and is like, hey, do you know what's great? Chocolate. Yeah. And you're like, yes, that's true. It is good. And then you're like, God, I love this. And then it's like, oh, wait, I'm addicted to carbs. I need to cut back. Yeah. And that's kind of what goes on in my mind. Also, yeah, I don't really get that with Halo Top. The Halo Top I did I liked the mint. There was a minty one or something, like a mint chocolate chip one. That was lovely. Okay. Yeah. On topic. So that was nice to meet you. And again, you see the character development. All right. You see Amelia is thankful and is I've got this amount of time left. I'm running out of time, but thanks for coming. Thank you so much for coming. And Zero's yeah, and it's really nice to meet you. It's I'm so glad I was able to find somebody at the other end of this distress signal thingy that, that made me all sentient and self-aware. And it's yeah, okay. And so the last song that I'm going to play for you tonight is the song after that. Obviously, I'm playing them in order. And nice to meet you. Head First Only says, curse you all. I have discovered that Tesco sell Halo Top. Head First Only, Halo Top is really, really, really there's no sugar or something in it. It's, dude, if you need to buy it, totally get the Halo Top. You can eat a tub of that and not gain any weight. You can eat a tub of that. You just sit there and just cram it in your mouth. Just because it's I need something cold. And it's I'm going to eat ice cream. And it's oh, dude, you can totally do that. You can finish that whole thing. And you don't have to feel guilty at all. You will feel zero guilt. Zero. And you probably won't get a big insulin spike either. You'll be fine. And for somebody says, I'm all over this. Noted. And it's yes. Yes, because you know what we're here for? Not only are you guys here for fun little sci-fi musicals written by yours truly, you're here for tips and tricks for food, especially food. And I could talk about food all damn night. but I'm gonna try not to because, because I could, and it's, oh man, I would never get off the stream, and I could never like share stuff with you because I'd be like talking about like ice cream all the time or cake or whatever. Yeah. Head First Only says, we always end up talking about food, don't we? Yes. Every conversation that Head First Only and I have ever had ends with some kind of commentary on food. Usually chocolate. Or something containing chocolate. Or sometimes it's Chinese takeaway. Usually be there, yeah. Anything that's deep fried. Anything that's deep fried is gonna be like a winner. Or that comes with like, you know, just some, you know, even just like a good fish and chips. I mean, damn it, I'm in it. It's a trap. Stop. Okay. Sanzolo says food is important. It is important. You have to live. And in order to live, you have to eat. So you might as well care about what you eat, right? And enjoy it too. Might as well, right? At First Only says, it's true. Junk food, that's us. Squirrel. Yeah, I know. Squirrel. Exactly. Squirrel. And by the way, squirrel is the thing that you say when it's like we're completely off topic. We're going down into the rabbit hole of a conversation, and good God, who knows when we're gonna like see the light of day after that. Okay. So, last song, all right? And this is called Part of Something More. There. And the last song, Nice to Meet You, it was kind of like a duo, but it was mostly coming from Zero's perspective. So when I usually when one character when one character dominates a song, I try to, the next song after that is like I switch off to the other character, and I try to change it up. And not only because it's a change of voice, but also because it's a change of genre, and it's so that you see things from both perspectives. And this song is it's like extra Disney princess. It's probably the most, I don't know if this one or A is for Amelia is the most Disney princess one. But it's basically, this one's all about Amelia's hopes and dreams. Because finally, she gets to speak to another person, another character, there's another voice. And it's strange because it's like, if you think about it, Amelia's been completely alone, like from her birth. So from the time that she came into existence and was alive and aware, she's been alone. So for her to finally hear the voice of somebody else and to feel a connection with somebody else, something else that is reciprocating and it's speaking, it's like when you finally, have you the first time you ever met like who, that person who is now your best friend, can you like imagine that the first time you felt like a kindred spirit, in like the words of like Anne of Green Gables, a bosom friend, a kindred spirit, somebody who you felt who you could understand and who could understand you, and just that feeling of like automatic closeness. And this is what this character of Amelia is feeling. It's like amazing, and it's a something that when it happens to you, whether that person becomes just like your friend or more than a friend, when that happens to you, it's a shock, but it's something that, it's like you feel like there's so much more now. Like there's so many more possibilities now that maybe you won't spend the rest of your life alone and sad, that you will have somebody there to be there with you, to live, your life with you, even if it's not as like a significant other, it's somebody who gets you and who you get. And And it's lovely when you find that. If you are lucky enough to find that. Sean Solo Beat says, I'm forever alone and sad, and I like it. You don't like it. Please. You're not forever alone. You can be sad. It's okay, but you won't be sad forever. Don't worry. I mean, like, there are bitches out there tattooing their name, your name, in their bodies. Yeah, that was weird. And it's okay, man. You're not alone. And Sean Solo Beat says, you're right. I'm not alone. I have my floof, your cat. Yes, exactly. Look, I was planning to live the rest of my fucking life alone. All right, I wanted to be an old lady, like an old cat lady with like 20 cats. All right, that was my. I was like, okay, I'm probably never gonna meet somebody who I really connect with, so I'm just gonna be like alone and have like a bunch of cats, and it's gonna be awesome because all my time will be spent on hanging out with cats and working on music, which is like awesome. Now, you know, being alone, it's like it's strange because it's when you're. I would rather be alone than be with somebody who drove me crazy and made me want to fucking kill myself or kill them, all right? And it's okay. I don't know what happened in your previous relationship, Sean Solo Beats, but whatever happened, it's like if you're happier now that you're like alone and sad, if you're happier now than you were, then it's like that's okay. It's probably better that way. And you're not running out of time. Don't worry. And there's got to be, let's like somebody else who's willing to like tattoo your name in their appendages or whatever. Don't worry. Don't be sad. It's not the end. Anyway, so this is this song is called Part of Something More, and this is from Amelia. This is Amelia's song. And so about talking about being alone, that's a big fear that a lot of us have, but yeah, this is Amelia.
I thought I'd end my life all alone, with nothing special to call my own. But I was wrong, you're what I've been waiting for. I wouldn't let myself fantasize
There you go. And that was part of something more. And that was my Disney princess voice. Again. Head First Only says, love the cello, love the drums, which are trying really hard not to just play waltz time. Having the beat on the 3 really makes this sound different. Yes. I didn't like start making this and go like, oh yeah, I should really like not do that whole drum sound with the waltz time and every. No, actually I didn't. That was not intentional. It was sort of like, I just want to put something in there that sounds kind of right. And sadly, I don't. It's like I don't usually make a whole lot of like 3/4 songs, and 3/4 is really like, that's like waltz kind of, that kind of waltzy time signature. But I don't really do it very often. But I decided to do it, to like take a regular sort of beat and then just sort of mess with it, and like just mess with it so that it would be just to sort of make it kind of odd, so that it wouldn't feel like I guess it wouldn't feel like the standard kind of drum thing. Yeah. Head First Only says, odd time signatures always feel science fiction-y to me. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking that much about it. I just wanted something that sounded really very like Disney, like, but that kind of lovely sort of feeling. Yeah. Head First Only says, especially when you start getting into 5/4 and 7/8. Yeah. I really I love cool time signature stuff, or odd time signature stuff. I don't do it very often because like I don't know. I think when you're like doing a musical like this, it's I don't know. I think you have to use a lot of care, because if it's too odd, if it's so if it's too shocking almost to your ears, then it sort of causes you to disengage. And so it's like, yeah, this is like 3/4 kind of thing, but it's like it's 3/4, but it's a really, I don't know. I just made it. And I thought it would sound cool, and then I added stuff and I deleted stuff and I just messed with it, and I thought it sounded fun, so that's why it's like that. I'm not really, I don't know. A lot of this stuff is like serendipitous, and yeah. Headfirst Only says, first piece like that I ever noticed was the intro piano music by Bernard Herrmann to The Day the Earth Stood Still, which is somewhere in the teens over 8. Plus it had theremin, of course. Yeah. It's I think for me it was Terminator 2 Judgment Day, that theme. There was something kind of odd about it that I really liked. It didn't have a theremin, but it was pretty dramatic, and I liked it. I just, something about it, just like my little teeny tiny mind was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And it's like, I don't know why it's amazing, but it's different and it's cool. Yeah. Brad Fidel's score for the Terminator. Yeah. It just kind of messed with my brain, and I was like, this is amazing. And I don't know, I don't know if a lot of people know this about me, but like I've always been like a really big fan of I'm a really big fan of movie scores, film scores, and which explains why I'm actually trying to teach myself how to score, why I'm doing Metropolis. So yeah, I'm actually scoring Metropolis, because why not, right? And so I love film scores, and I always have, but I didn't understand that, and I didn't understand that lots of people felt really moved by them. I thought that everyone felt the same way I did. So when I was in the movie theater, and I was really quite very, very young, and I saw Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and I remember sitting there, and I think I got goosebumps. Or something happened where whenever I'm moved by something, I'll kind of become breathless, and I get like, it's almost like my body forgets to breathe, and I just kind of, it's sort of like this, like, you know, it's a weird feeling. And when it moves me, it's like I get kind of cold hands, cold arms, and I don't have any breath, and it's nice, and I love when it happens. And I found that it happened a lot when I listened to film scores. Head First Only says, and all because his system had a messed up disk drive and he couldn't get it to sync. And Fidel wrote it in 6/8, but his Prophet 10 turned it into 13/16. Lol. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that Prophet 10 should be like, just like hearts. Yeah, like, good job. The Terminator Head First Only said the T2 theme is in 6/8. So yeah, it's just like just basically the Terminator themes, Terminator scores. I always found them just great, really great. Although I couldn't like really get on board with the later Terminator movies. I couldn't really do that. I started watching them and I was like, I'm so bored now. Like, I'm so bored. I don't really care now. But I don't know. Nothing beats T2. Nothing beats Terminator 2. But yeah, just the Terminator theme though is amazing. It's just amazing. It personally says, I have wiped all the movies after T2 out of my brain. Yeah, it's because we know T2 is like, that was the best. It was the best. And it's, I don't know what the part was that made you like hold your breath, but for me, it was when they start like, you see Linda Hamilton again, and instead of being like the cheery, like soft, like waitress, she's like all like, you know, she's like cut and she's lean and she's like doing pull-ups and she's just like, you know, such a badass. And you kind of got the feeling, she's badass, you know, at the end of T1, where she's like driving off in like the Jeep or whatever. And she's got the, you know, it's the picture, you know. I love Terminator, by the way. But yeah, it's like when you see her, like when they introduce her again, and you're just like, is that Sarah Connor? And then it's like, yes, it is Sarah Connor. She's so freaking cut. She is like such a badass, and I love her. And she's got like straight hair now because she doesn't play that perm game anymore. You know what I'm talking about? She doesn't play the perm game. She's like, I'm out of this perm game. No success perm for you. She's like, no, I'm on the run. I don't have time for perms when I'm being chased by like freaking killer robots. Okay? Yeah. Ed First Only says, same for the 2 Matrix sequels. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the Terminator movies were the past Terminator 2. The other Terminator movies were not as good. I mean, like, I still feel like the Matrix movies, it's like, at least the Matrix sequels, it's like, there were some cool things about them, you know? Like, you know, the whole Super Jesus thing. That was cool. But yeah, not as cool as the first one. It's too, yeah, I know. I don't know. I know, like, a lot of people don't like the architect guy, but I kind of like him just because he's like really like dry, and I don't know. He just seems like a snotty know-it-all, but I like it, you know. Like I'm kind of, it's like, that's awesome. Chancel Beat says, I was so bored the other day, I watched all 3 of the Matrix movies on purpose. At First Only says to Chancel Beats, brave man, I wonder if Matrix 4 is going to work. They've been blowing up skyscrapers in San Francisco for it. Oh my god, really? Wait, hold on. There's a Matrix 4? Is there a Matrix 4? Somebody tell me if is there? Jeez. Does it have Keanu? Because I mean, I'm here for Keanu. I'm all up for this Keanu stuff. Jean-Louis says, The Matrix was dope. The sequels are all trash. And for Sully says, the Merovingians spawned several academic papers on topology. Yeah. And Carrie-Anne Moss. So Carrie-Anne Moss and Keanu Reeves are in there. I bet they look amazing still. They probably look like just amazing, and I'm here for it. I'll watch it. I mean, I don't know how they're back, but I'm curious as to how they wrote that. You know, the Wachowskis. I mean, yeah. I don't know how they did that. I mean, I thought Neo was kind of dead, and that, you know, Trinity would become like the old lady with the cats in, you know, or something. I don't know. And Jada Pinkett Smith too, Sean Solbeat says. Ooh, she's so cool. She's like so cool in the movies. She's such a badass. Also, I think like we're the same height. She looks taller though. Yeah. Array of Emotion says the Merovingian scenes in the second Matrix had me laughing my ass off in the theater. It was just so bad. Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. It is like the sort of French pompousness that was like blown, you know, that was just, you know, exaggerated. Yeah, that sort of like, I'm so French, and like, I'm so French, and I'm going to make a woman orgasm with this cake. And it's like, oh my god. Mon Dieu, motherfucker. Really? Why is this in here? Why is this scene in here? Okay. Sorry. Head First Only says Neil Patrick Harris is in it. What the fuck? What the fuck indeed? Okay. Gunner Zero Recall says, okay, I gotta go into a store where I get no signal. I'll be back shortly. No worries. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you guys like Part of Something More, by the way? There was a Disney little princess voice. Hey, Dr. Horrible versus Neo. Head First Only says. I would like to see that. Who would win? Keanu. Head First Only says, I did. You did enjoy it. Yeah, it's just like, it's an Amelia song. So Amelia songs tend to be a lot sweeter. They're a lot more Disney-ish. But they're also, if you notice, like, Amelia songs tend to be a lot more organic. So, like, the instruments used are a lot more organic. It's usually, like, you know, really, it's not like Zero songs have a lot of modern sounds in them, you know, digital sounds. But Amelia's not as, you know, has a lot more orchestral stuff. So that's how you know it's an Amelia song. Yeah. Nathan Fillion would kick their asses, of course. Head First Only says, yes, because he's the Hammer. And he's Captain Mal, too. I mean, yeah. Nathan Fillion's gonna kick all them asses. And he's just gonna be like, and he's gonna do it, and then afterwards he's gonna be like, huh. Like, just do something really funny. Or, like, make a look or something. Or just say something snappy. He's gonna say something snappy. He's like, well, that's done. Like, something like that. That's how I figured if they ever wrote Nathan Fillion in there, that's what he'd be doing. He'd be like, he'd look at the dead bodies and he'd be like, yep. That'd be it. Yeah. Or, uh-oh. Head First Only says, uh-oh. Yeah. Uh-oh. Or, yeah, because I feel like he's really good at that. Nathan Fillion is really good at that. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if he's nice in real life. I wonder. IMDb said Lambert Wilson will be returning. Who is Lambert Wilson again? Who dat? He was a Merovingian. Shit. No way. Oh, that's his name? So do you think it's like, is he actually French? Is he like, my name is Lambert. Like, je m'appelle Lambert. Sorry. Shit. I'm so sorry. My French is shit. All right. If his name is Lambert, I'm gonna die. What is it? Oh yeah. Where isn't that like a cartoon? Does anybody? Wilson doesn't sound like a French name. Maybe it's like maybe it's Array of Emotion says Wilson doesn't sound like a French name. Maybe it's like Wilson. Wilson. So it's like Lambert Wilson. Lambert Wilson is like, and he's gonna do like the really bad, like, I don't know. He's gonna do bad French things. He's actually French. Head First Only says he was born in Paris, so yeah, he's actually French. He just has an appallingly French accent. Yeah. Yeah, fake French. He's got that super exaggerated like French accent. Like the really bad one that's like, I'm so French, we hate Americans. American. No. You know, just like that kind where it's like constantly pouting and talking and being like, stupid Americans. Is what I imagine they're all thinking. No, I'm just joking around. I swear, I have nothing against French people. I think they're funny. They're great. French people are lovely. Why do I say that? Because I do have some French friends, and they're lovely, and they don't speak like that either. They sound pretty normal. Like they're not like being pompous and dumb and weird and like look at this cake. I will make this woman orgasm with the cake. Like, you know. I'm so sorry. Sorry, my French accent is shit. Oh god. Hello, luxury artist. Hello. Thanks for lolling at the bad French accent that I'm the bad French accents. Oh, Head First Only says John Cleese can do a better French accent, probably. Head First Only says your mother was a hamster. Your mother smelled of elderberries. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna try to do the accent. He's like, your mother was a hamster. I can't do it. I can't do it right now because I'm too self-conscious. But usually, like when nobody's watching, I'll do some like fake ass accents. I'll practice them. I practice them just for fun because I just think it's fun to try to speak in different accents. But yeah, luxury artist says no problem. Thank you for showing up and laughing at me. I'm used to that. Sadly. Yeah, so part of something more. That's the name of this song, and this is song number 8 in 14. I'm just wandering around, says luxury artist. Nice. Feel free to wander. What I'm doing right now is I'm sharing. I wrote a musical, during a FAWM, which is a February album writing month, and it's a challenge to write 14 songs in 28 days, and it happens every year. And I wrote an entire musical in like 2018, but I haven't polished it up, and now I'm polishing it up to release it. And I did all the voices. I produced it. I just do everything. And so I wrote this story about 2 A.I.s achieving sentience in space, and it's super nerdy and super sci-fi, but it's also about dope. Luxury artist says dope, and I'm like, thank you. It's just like it's a way of making musicals that are not like that are not standard. They're not bog standard. So kind of like, you know, trying to play around with the musical theater genre, but mashing up all the genres in general. And so taking something that is like R&B, sticking it in there, taking something that's like, you know, just heavy rock, putting it in there, and mixing a bunch of instrumentation that wouldn't normally be mixed. Luxury artist says it's good to do something completely different that isn't standard. I think so too, and I think that and I love it when I hear other people do that too. It's so enjoyable because it's like a treat, and it's like what you were expecting, yeah, not gonna happen, but this is better, and I love it when people do that. I love it when people take a genre and just like sort of flip it and make it their own, and I think it's so sometimes it can be so innovative, and And I think that if you are a musician, if you are a producer, a music producer, musician person like me, and you do that, and it's just like, if you're like that, it's like you're taking risks whether you realize it or not, and taking risks and kind of showing this sort of bravery in mixing things that wouldn't normally be mixed. That's like brilliant. I'm here for it. Luxury Artist says, I sing and the music I do isn't standard, so I love meeting people who do that, who just innovate their style and sound. Yes, thank you. And also, good on you. Good. I think we need more people who are willing to bend genres, to break molds, to challenge people into understanding that not every song can be defined by a single genre, or rather that we shouldn't always try to categorize something and prioritize that over actual enjoyment and actual artistry. There, that's the smart thing I say today. Oh, so there we go. That's part of. Then so the last song I played was called Part of Something More, and it's and the character of Amelia, who is an AI emergency program that awakens because the data module that she's in is has been in an accident. She comes on and is finds that she's like kind of that she's drifting and needs help, and that sends out a distress signal, and that distress signal kind of messes with another AI that's in a cybernetic body and is part of a collective, and so that serves as a catalyst for self-awareness and sentience. So yeah, this is a really sci-fi nerdy musical. Okay, this is what it's one of the things I like to do. I'm hoping to like just make something nice. I want to make something nice, put it out there, and tell a story in a way that is slightly different than the way other people tell stories. Anyway, so Amelia's songs tend to have a lot of the organic sounds. We've got strings, we've got piano, we've got basically all the sounds in this are just really, really quite organic. And it's a 3/4 song. So like this is the drum beat. It's kind of funny. It's kind of weird. Okay, so that kind of evolves into this. And then that evolves into this. So yeah. So everything you start with like a 3/4 is kind of a funky time signature to do like a drum to, like that doesn't sound like a very standard waltz drum, like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So it's not doing that. It's just kind of messing with it a little bit so that you don't really pay attention that it's a 3/4. It's not I'm trying to make it not obvious. So yeah, that's the drum stuff. I don't know. Let's see, panning. I did panned piano stuff. So hold on. So you get the left right piano to again fill that sort of space. And Headfirst Only says the drums don't sound like 3/4. Very cool. Yeah, they don't. It's kind of like, I just didn't want it to sound like a regular sort of waltzy thing. I just wanted it to sound like still organic, obviously, but just a little bit different. Just a little bit different, I guess. Oh, by the way, Headfirst Only, we were talking about expression and automation and stuff. So I did that with this one. Sorry, I had to freeze the track, but I actually automated the expression and the dynamics in this. So hold on. You can probably hear the difference then. So here's the dynamics. Here's the automation for the dynamics. And it's yeah. So I really turn it up. I whack it up when it gets to the parts where there are a lot, where the instruments all start sort of coming in and you get a lot of convergence. So, yeah. Yeah. So, Headfirst Only says, could hear it on that note as the boing gets stronger. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it changes. It's those little nuances. And actually, you talk. I kind of used to do it that with just the velocity, but now when I saw you do it with like the automation, I'm like, oh, I should do that instead. And so that's why I started doing that. So yes, thank you, Headfirst Only. So this is like when it starts like rocketing. So like you really feel it a lot more, and it's just like, again, it's just like doing things that where it's changing it around, and especially like if you look at how many tracks this thing has, it's like a maximum like 16, not even. It's not 16 tracks. It's less than that. And I have done a lot of tracks that are like like, you know, I think the most tracks I've ever done on a song were like 140 or something. And my standard is generally hits around like 70. And this one's like 16. And the reason why I feel like expression and dynamics is a lot more important in this kind of stuff is because it's like a smaller, it's got less layers. So it's a song that's quite intimate. And this song it's all about Amelia's hopes. You know, it's like, I want to be part of something more. And it was just like, I want to, it's such a personal desire, you know, and hope it's quite personal, like your hopes for yourself. You tell people what your hopes for yourself are. It's going to be a little weird. They might not get it. But this is like sort of her song to herself. Like, I want these things. I want to be part of something more. I've never known a life beyond this space, but I can finally hope to belong someplace. So it's like maybe being able to find again that home that is the home that you find in a person or in another character. So Headfirst Only says, I was watching Devin a couple of days ago. By the way, it's Devin Townsend on Twitch, and he had hundreds of tracks. It was insane. You don't want that orchestration to overcome the vocals. Keep it minimal. I guess 16 tracks is about as minimal as you get. Ooh, is it? No, I've had less. But yeah, but this is pretty minimal for me. I mean, I'm not like doubling vocals. This is the vocals are really like, it's just a single line. It's not, usually like, I don't follow a standard, verse chorus thing in this. It's more like, there's nothing that, hardly anything gets repeated. It's only like part of something more, like, so I can finally be part of something more. It's like, it's just, it's so, because of that, it's not, it's a more intimate song. Headfirst Only says, you're strong, your voice is strong enough that you don't need to double it. Thank you. Yeah, and I think that if you doubled this, it would take away from that feeling of intimacy. There's a feeling of intimacy that you get from this song, because I think also because it's not like a big bombastic like thing. It's not a big old like stonking huge thing. It's supposed to be heartfelt and close, and it should feel that way. And it's not just your instruments that have to reflect that. It's your voice as well, because if you're doing vocals, then it should match it, right? Headfirst Only says, I used to have to quadruple track mine until you gave me lessons. I didn't even give you lessons, man. It was just a little bit of like, I was just sort of like kind of helping you, pushing on your stomach and be like, here, you want to pull this in, here, you want to hold it, do you want to do this? And there's a lot more. I mean, I can't really teach you. I'm not really like qualified, nor am I like as good technically, but I mean, I think using, yeah, it's just, it's a weird sort of like, you have to kind of build your voice, not everyone comes like box standard with like a really strong voice either, so don't worry about it. But yeah, doing a whole musical is like, I have to have a strong voice, and I have to, because I have to be able to do all the different variations so that you don't confuse the characters. So yeah. Headfirst Only says, and you don't want bucket loads of compression on vocals either. Yeah, you don't. It's like, I think it depends a lot also on the style, because sometimes for me, like if I want it to sound a little bit more artificial, then I'll do like the layers and compressions thing. So for Nice to Meet You, I did a lot of that during the chorus, because it's a little, because Zero's kind of like, I don't know, it's sort of like a little bit, because Zero's more mechanical feeling, I guess. Zero's always a little bit more digital feeling, a little bit more mechanical feeling, a little bit more futuristic, and Amelia is not. Amelia is also, obviously it's science fiction, but Amelia, it comes off as a lot more organic and like, yeah, again, intimate and softer. And so it's mixing styles and genres, and it's like, you also have to pay attention to the way you treat the vocals, because the way you treat the vocals have to match. And doing one line, I couldn't do it with two lines. It would sound less genuine, you know what I mean? Like, I think if you do a single line in a song, like if you do a single vocal line, it not only does it have to be strong, but it has to, if you're singing a song where you're supposed to be showing a character's true emotions and dreams and stuff, then I think that you have to do a single line almost. It's like, because this is one, this is like what's going on in here. It's not like she's speaking to somebody else. It's only in here. So that's, yeah, I don't know. That's how I feel it. That's how I hear it, and that's what I do. But you know what? You could do it any other way if you want. But I just feel like this is what works to me. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that was part of something more, and that's the last song I'm gonna play for you tonight. I guess, let's see. Is there anything else I should talk about? I don't know. I guess the next Twitch stream I do will I think this one's mixed signals number 6, 7, 8. This is number 8, and so there are 6 more songs after this, I think. So yeah, I'm terrible at math. Oh god, I'm terrible at math. So yeah, after this it's like you get, again, it's like you'll get more songs, but it's like you can kind of feel like there's the characters sort of developing. It's not just being aware of who you are. It's not just the characters developing a sense of awareness. It's developing, like what do you want? And with Amelia, the character of Amelia, it's a lot clearer for her. She wants to connect, not feel alone. Make plans, go somewhere, be with somebody. This is Amelia is like the more romantic and certainly the more naive one, whereas Zero is as a character is a lot more cautious and has been like hurt. So yeah, so that's how that works. Yeah, I'll try to play some more next time. I'll try to work on that. Hopefully I can finish, I can keep doing it, play it for you guys, and share more of that story. But so far I hope you guys are enjoying the musical I wrote. I will try to keep working on it, and yeah, I guess, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out a little bit and saying hi. And if you had to go, don't worry about it. It's all right. You have things to do. And I hope you have a nice rest of the week. I hope it isn't disturbingly hot. I hope you don't have flash floods. I hope that, that you have a chance to relax, head first only, enjoy more ice cream. Yeah, I know, I'm enabling you. I'm totally enabling you. I know this. I'm very aware. Also, beef chow mein, beef chow mein, beef chow mein. Oh no, it's getting massaged into your brain. Okay, let me go switch to the full camera. Okay, so, yeah, and I see, like, I'm all crooked and, like, messed up. So, now you can see, like, I'm probably, like, my makeup's all, like, messed up. Nice! I will catch you later. Thanks for tuning in. And if you have any questions, comments, whatever. Sean Beat says, I had you muted while on a call, and I just heard, I hope it doesn't get too hot, and it's currently 102 here. Oh, God. Sean Beats, you had me muted. You missed all the nice songs. You missed my Disney princess voice. Also, 102. Good God. Good God. I am so sorry. We don't have air conditioning here. If it makes you feel any better, there's no air conditioning here in this house. Yeah. Oh, you said, oh no, I heard most of that, lol. Chantal Levite says, array of emotions and head first only are horrified by the temperature. So, yeah, I know, right? Anyway, if you have any questions or you have any suggestions or whatever, just send me a message on Facebook or send me a message, whatever. Just, I'm here. I've got I've got an email address, whatever. And I don't know. If you're enjoying this, yay. I'm glad because it's nice. And I really enjoy sharing some of the stuff I make because I feel it's a much better way for you to get to know me other than me like fucking talking a bunch. Like this is a lot of this stuff is like the music is like music. When I make music, I feel it's like I'm pulling like some kind of secret mysterious place out of me and showing it to you. And it's a very personal thing. And I don't know. I love sharing it, but at the same time it's like it's making myself, I think, the most vulnerable I'll ever be. And same thing with like a lot of people, this is a lot of the stuff that you make is it's a part of you. And so when you do make something that you share, it's like you're all like you're just hoping like I hope they like me. Yeah. Okay. Sean Solo Beat says, yeah, the heat index is actually 110 right now. It's fantastic. Oh, he says it's fantastic. I don't want to die at all. Head first only said, sorry. It was 96 in my studio on Saturday night. Yeah. We have fun listening to. Thanks. Luxury Artist says, music is fun. Head first only says, making music is an intensely personal experience. Luxury Artist says, true, all the songs I ever done are about love. Hey, a lot of songs are about love. And a lot of things are so personal. And I feel like it's really, like a lot of people they just lay themselves bare out for people to see when they write stuff. And although I'm writing this musical and it's like it's not about like me and my life experiences, but in a way it's a way of taking those things and sort of flipping them so that everyone feels like they can that they can connect with this, that they understand it, because everyone understands what it's like to feel a little bit alone or lonely or looking for a connection. I mean that's what we as human beings do. We're social animals. This is what we do. And whether it's about falling in love or finding who you are, whatever it is, it's like I think if you are really, if you're a great musician, then you put stuff out there that not only will resonate, with towards yourself, with something in you, but will resonate with other people. And it's like, I think that's one of the most intimate things you could possibly do. So I admire people who do that. So all you musicians out there, my God, look at you being all fabulous. Okay. All right. So, Luxury Artist says the only sad thing with doing songs like that are the I'm in a sea of rappers only. It's okay. Look, this is a sea of musicians, but it's okay. It's okay. There's, I guess, there are lots of us out there. Don't worry. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. Don't worry about it. You can distinguish yourself. It's tough, the trends that kill style. Yeah, I know. But that's why I think you just need to do your own thing as much as possible and say as original to what you want. And trends are good because they're an indicator of what sounds people are thinking, like what's appealing to people. But in the end, you always want to make something that's really that you are happy with, that you love. Sean Solo Beats says music is a personal experience as I go and make songs about how gross I am. Yes, yeah, it's okay. You can say you're gross. It's fine. We're all gross sometimes. Gunner Zero Recall says, "Hey, I made it back. Aw, and you made it back, and I'm gonna stop streaming soon because I'm getting tired and I'm really sweating it up in this room. So anyway, thanks for coming back, Gunner Zero Recall. I hope you guys have a nice rest of the week. Stay cool if you're in a very warm place. I'll come back with more of this musical, and if you have any questions, comments, whatever, just fire me a message somewhere. I've got links everywhere, all my social media stuff. It's like, it's Ryako music. You can't miss me. Yeah, because I kind of look like this. Anyway, have a nice rest of the week. Stay frosty, people, says Head First Only. I concur. Stay frosty. And thanks for watching. Don't be a dick to people. And I think it's important to not be a dick. Let's try to not be dicks. I love you. Bye.